This is Crazy Dee. I'm standing inside of Sight and Sound Center on North MLK Boulevard in Las Vegas, Nevada. That's right. And when you wanna get the BLKICE Chronicles DVD titles, you know it's only one place in Las Vegas where you can get it. Right here in Sight and Sound Center at 1000 North MLK Boulevard in Las Vegas. BLKICE Chronicles Massive. This is Crazy Dee. I'm standing at one of the events for the Las Vegas Film Festival. As you see, the libations are flowing and the activity is going on. So stay tuned as we show you a little bit more of this and that, and different scenes from the film festival. The BLKICE Chronicles. First of all, I want to thank the Las Vegas Film Festival for recognizing my film. My wife and I have enjoyed all of the festivities over the weekend. The BLKICE Chronicles Massive. This is Crazy Dee. I'm standing in front of Randy's Donuts in Inglewood, California. We're getting ready to go try some of these donuts.
And thank you for winning the contest. Well,
you know what?
Hey, just yell it out. Don't worry about doing all that.
The BLKICE Chronicles. Again, this is an honor to be interviewing Louis Gossette Jr. First question I want to ask you is, who was Louis Gossette?
Louis Gossette
Sr.? Yes.
Well, he was one of those guys from the generation that worked hard. Yes, his hands were rough, like sandpaper. So he had to do awful lot of stuff, but he did it well. He was a porter at Brooklyn Union Gas Company. Wound up being in the billing department. He sold the numbers. Did everything he possibly could so we could be okay. So during Roots, I changed my name from Lou Gossette to Louis Gossette.
Okay.
To give him that.
So and from that, you took his example and incorporated it into your acting?
Into the characters I chose, yeah. That was a generation, they couldn't demonstrate love so much because they were too busy with survival. But that didn't mean he loved me any less. So when he died, I saw 6 carefully prepared scrapbooks about me. I didn't know he was that proud. So that's shows, for what it's worth, go back and see what, I think your fathers were proud of you, but they didn't know how to say it.
Yeah, men from a certain generation. So
I'm a man, I get it, you know.
Right.
We can do that, man. I need to demonstrate your affection to a lady behind the camera. Just look at the smile she got. She's smiling up strong. Ear to ear, too, huh?
So, tell them about your YouTube channel that you're coming out.
It's called For What It's Worth. It's on YouTube. It's the stuff that elders, for what it's worth, need to tell the next generation. Information for what it's worth. You take it or leave it. And it's pretty not a pushy way to tell the stories that I get. For what it's worth. And the foundation is called the E-Racism Foundation. You can look that up on your internet. E-RacismFoundation.org. And it speaks for itself.
When the civil rights movement was going on and all of the advancements took place, one of the criticisms posed was that the civil rights is still going on. We're just in the next steps. But some people feel in the post that they went to suites and forgot about the streets. So is this what you're doing to reconnect to the streets? Is that something that you would subscribe to and say that yes, that actually did happen?
I think we have to be conscious from the streets to the street, all inclusive. That Dr. King is right. We are now, presently, in the promised land. But nobody's taught our young how to behave so they can get to the promised land and get their birthright. So we have some jobs to do to keep it. That's my foundation, to keep, to educate and give these young people their rites of passage. The knowledge of upon whose shoulders they stand, their respect for the opposite sex, their dress code, their respect for the elder and their story, their sensitivity to other consciences, other cultures, so they know that, the spirituality, physical fitness, and the conduct before they hit the door to the street. That's the knowledge they need to have the way it used to be. And once they do that, then as ladies and gentlemen go to school, they take that information for what it's worth and grow so they can have a responsible position in this country. As we are already in the promised land. We have to prepare everything. The rest will fall in our ways.
How's everybody doing? Give a power in the hand for bringing me on here in Las Vegas. Thank y'all, man. I didn't even know what you about. Thank you all for bringing the kids. How you doing? Psych. You gotta be quick, man. You gotta be quick. Where the single ladies at? Single ladies? Oh, wait. Single women with dental benefits.
What's the last thing that you did to get in trouble? Don't get nervous. Don't get nervous. What's the last thing you did? Where your mama at? Where your mama and dad at? For real?
Yeah. Let me tell you what's confusing with me about that. I don't have any problem with people having different parties, but abortion rights, we're back to that again? Yeah. Women not getting equal pay, they're against that. Education, they want to get rid of the Department of Education. We're okay with that as a Republican? I don't get it. I'm just saying that those are the issues, you know. So when you talk about representing the party, you got to talk about the positions they're taking in policy. That's right. That's so right. I'm just really freaked out. I know that you all are as fired up as you were in 2008. Many people are just, they aren't. But let me tell you, boy, you don't get out there and vote this time. You thought the whole Palin thing was crazy. And I know it was exciting because we had Hillary and Barack. That was exciting. Bill was saying crazy stuff that kept everybody fired up. It was like watching a sitcom, like a reality show almost. But it's not going to be that fiery this time because they've already said all the racist things they could possibly say. They called them cool. Now, they don't know what they really would have called them. They already had all the negative things to say. So it's all about us just getting out and doing it.
It takes about 40 to 45 minutes to actually strangle a person. That's what it's right? And I was reading up on one of the situations where a person from Chicago was called to take care of a person. What does that feel like to kill a person? Because it takes what does it take to feel like, what does it feel like? I mean, that's something that I would think would be the most intimate, close in. It's different than shooting someone with a gun. What is
drawing the life out of everybody.
Yeah. What does that feel like?
Well, you know, my experiences with killing people were flat bang, it's over with, you know what I mean? But I know people that used to take satisfaction in actually strangling somebody to death or cutting them apart before they kill them because they felt as though they were drawing all that person into them and giving them inner strength. Sick.
Is that?
Sick. But I knew a few guys that were like,
and that's what they explain. But what does it feel like to take
another life?
so close up because it's different than in war.
Yeah,
a soldier yards away.
Well, first of all, you have to put your emotions on the side because this is your job, let's say, and you're killing this guy because he was no good. Whatever he may have done, he may have robbed the outfitter of the syndicate for a lot of money. He may have been an informant that nobody knew about and then they found about. So you justify any kind of violence that you've done in your mind, whether it be a good friend or just an acquaintance. You had to do this because if you didn't, you would go home and you'd eventually, you'd go goofy. You know.
I see what you're saying.
You just had to do the business. This was your job. You know, you didn't ask why you had to do it. If the boss gave you the order to do it, you do it.
So it was never a personal situation because
you couldn't do personal.
Right. That's what it said. Right.
You weren't allowed to do personal unless you had to sit down with the bosses and you explain what this fellow or woman had to kill a woman, but if you said this guy was doing this and that, it was a personal thing with your wife and kids, and then they'd say straighten it out and break his head. You know, it wasn't that you could kill anybody that flirted with your wife.
Trick or treat. Some people just don't have originality with their outfits. I just saw this better on Shamika.
Yeah, our cousin wore it better.
What are you ladies looking for today?
We are here, like we said, for trick or treat. We accept candy, dollars, weed, anything you might want to give us.
Or we trick or treat. We accept candy, dollars, weed, or whatever else you want to do. Crazy. Both of you trick? Do you like that, Crazy? Do you? Relax, sister with the costume. We're all here to have a good time.
Me and Crazy Dee, we have business. What business do you have with Crazy Dee? We're a little late, huh?
I get it. You're all together. Y'all tell me. You're all together.
If you want us all, we can be together.
Okay, that's it. Y'all got to go. All that freaky Halloween bullshit, you gotta take that. You can take her with you.
You know, the world is wicked. No one cares what you have done to help the community. No one cares about you, except what they can get from you. These ladies want to suck your blood. Like I do.
Yeah, Crazy Dee. And let's suck your blood.
Shit. What the fuck is going on? What type of shit is this? Does anyone have sense during Halloween? Where's my help? Just got the donuts, people. We're gonna put the glazed donuts to the Cleveland test. We'll tell you what's up. But we'll be back. We're in Inglewood, California. Randy's Donuts, BLKICE Chronicles.
I have to ask this question because I'm sure there's fans out here that watch Mob Wives and Mob Wives and Chicago Mob Wives. Did the wives really know anything? I'm asking you that. What do you think? I mean, did they really know a lot of what was going on?
Yeah, I think they knew quite a bit what was going on, but not everything. They didn't know everything. But yeah.
Well, let me get involved in that. I didn't talk to my wife about right now. She didn't even know. It was on an even no basis. The last thing I wanted to do is tell her that I killed this guy or robbed this place or I did that. It's ridiculous. Right? They picked up on wiretaps. So they knew I was, my wife knew I was a criminal. Until I slept in the daytime, I was out all night and I had diamonds and furs for her. And so she knew I wasn't working in a factory or dealer in a casino. But she knew better than to ask me questions. Now, I need to say this one. One time the FBI had a 16-year-old daughter, stepdaughter, the strike force. Remember what the strike force did? They wanted to put her in front of the grand jury to testify. What did she know? Do you think I actually sat down with a stepdaughter at 16 and told her what I'd done? So then Tommy Gentile, who was an attorney that I knew, I hired for my daughter, which cost me a lot of money. And I said, you do what you want. You can testify, do what you want. She went up and took the fifth. On her own. Then it was all in the newspaper, right? All that embarrassment for the strike force. They took her off of her right away. What do you think of the family? You know, what did she know? You know.
That's what I always thought. That they really didn't know much. They took all the benefits the other side.
Not a mob wife. Let's get back to the mob wife.
Oh boy. How many did you have?
That's ridiculous. That shows. They're an embarrassment to Italians. It's an embarrassment. Well, I watched the one time I had to see what kind of cartoon was that.
I don't know where we got our idea of what a man is. We got to redefine man, and that's why we need fathers to teach our daughters what a man is so they're not looking for Pretty Ricky. Pretty Ricky come make some babies, he gone.
Yeah, he got that swag.
Yeah, he got the swag, but he got that credit. Don't have mental benefits. Kids need mental benefits. And until we define what a man is, and you all want to be married, you want a man that's committed, Pretty Ricky ain't trying to settle down. Pretty Ricky's not going to be there. You men who see these young men on the street, y'all scared of these kids. I've never been scared of these kids. Because I know I come to them with respect. You got to come to a young man with respect. And with love. They know when you love them and when you don't. Now, some of them are crazy. Okay, we got some kids that we done turned into killers. And we talked about that, George. I'm from Chicago. Them kids are killing each other left and right. But the people who work with these kids will tell you most of these kids are just big babies inside. Never been told I love you, never been held, and I don't know where you all get this idea you don't kiss boys. Who told you that boys don't need the same amount of affection that girls do? I was 13 years old, I still kiss mine.
Boy, 14, I kiss him.
What is this macho, don't kiss the boy nonsense? Who taught you that? And you wonder why we have these dysfunctional men that don't know how to be affectionate toward their women. Right. Because they haven't been shown the affection. That's not being soft. Being affectionate is being secure. And we got too many insecure men. Insecurity is killing a lot of our men. We're too insecure about our money, too insecure about sex, too insecure about status. Black women only want men with money. These women only want... You know how many women are dating 9-to-5 broke men? 90% of them. Absolutely. Where do we get this idea that women want slick guys when the reality is that most of them are dating guys who are struggling or who guys who they make more money than the guy does. I told George that the one thing I've learned from him, several different kind of guy. I'm an alpha male. I believe the man is supposed to be the man, but I have the money and the position to take that stand. When you can provide for your family, you take a different position. When you have to be a true partner, it's different. I have to watch George be a true partner in his relationship with his wife.
And I'm not no equal partner either. I'm a junior partner.
Because that's what most men are dealing with. They're in a relationship with a woman who's smart, who makes as much money as them, who makes more money than them, who's running things, running economics. That's a different relationship. Men are not prepared for this. But we better get ready for it because women are not coming back down. They're not going to stop going to school. They're not going to stop working. And they should. You got to start seeing these women as an asset. Women travel more than men. Women read more than men. Women start more businesses than men. Women own more homes than men. We got to take advantage of that. And say we got a partner that has a lot of information.
But you got to remove the ego out of the way.
Talk about that.
See, I've been a partner, but I've been a partner for 19 years. My wife and I, death will do us part. I'm not going nowhere. I'm going to sit right there with my wife. Through the good, through the bad, through the ugly, I'm not going nowhere. Like Michael, my father wasn't there. My father left. I had two other siblings, and he left when I was 2 years old. He came back and forth between our lives when I was 2. He finally left for good. But then he left, and he married a woman who already had 3 kids. And he stayed in those kids' life and saw them all the way through college. And when the last child was through college, she divorced him. And it is my mom struggled all those years trying to raise me and my sisters, never once telling me how horrible a dad I had. Never once doubting him or trying to taint my mind about him. But guess what? Eventually I saw for myself what it was, and I was determined that I would never do my wife or my children that way. And I was determined that my kids would never have the feeling that I felt. And sometimes as men, some of the heartaches that we've gone through, we can take those and not end up being resentful about it or harboring hate about it, but really taking those bad situations and turn them into something good. You know, black people, we good at that. We the one that turns chitlins into a delicacy. So we know about how taking something that's bad and turning it into something positive.
Crazy Dee, director. He's here. There he is.
First of all, I want to thank the Las Vegas Film Festival for recognizing my film. My wife and I have enjoyed all of the festivities over the weekend. I would like to thank my mother, who was looking down on me, my mother-in-law, who was looking down on me, my father back in Cleveland. I would like to thank the cast and crew. And last but definitely not least, I would like to thank my wife, who is always in my corner. Without you, I know that we wouldn't be able to get this done. So thank you very much. Okay, people, we're on Labrea Avenue. That's what I like to call it. But anyway, it stretches from probably beyond South Central, or excuse me, South LA. It stretches from South LA all the way back into Hollywood. You know, like how Warrensville, Center Road stretches through different cities. It stretches from Maple Heights to Warrensville Heights, you know, all the way into Cleveland Heights, Shaker Heights in between. Same thing. So it's always a street that you can take that can get you anywhere if you don't want to do the freeway. I'm always a person that drives. When I'm driving, I need to know a street or streets in the city that can get me where I need to go without having to jump on the freeway, because freeway traffic in Cleveland, especially during traffic hours, can be an animal. This traffic out here, it don't matter what time of day it is, it's a beast out here in LA. So you always need to try to know an alternative way through the city to get there, because sometimes the city driving can be quicker than highway driving, freeway driving, so to speak. I've always found sometimes you can't do anything either way if it's congested or it's a bottleneck or it's an accident, or it's traffic hours. But if it's like a regular time before traffic hours, a weekend, sometimes the street beats the freeway. So we just wanted to say that. So we're headed back to Hollywood. That's it. We'll talk to you later. Remember, Labrea Avenue, the BLKICE Chronicles. BLKICE Chronicles Massive. This is Crazy Dee. We are now in Inglewood, California, and we're heading to Randy's Donuts. All right, people. My favorite donut of all is a glazed donut, arguably. Then, you know, we can get to the glazed style with the chocolate over and all that, but glazed donuts are my favorite. So we had to always put it to the Cleveland test, because to me, the best glazed donuts came from a store called Pick and Pay, which later turned into Finest, which later turned into Tops. They kept the recipe. And then Giant Eagle seems to still have the glazed donut recipe that those other stores had. Well, this is a good glazed donut, but it tastes more like a funnel cake, but it is good. So I would say, when you come out to California, stop at Randy's Donuts and have yourself a glazed donut. It doesn't quite taste like the Pick and Pay, Finest, Tops, or Giant Eagle brand, but of course it shouldn't, because everyone should have their own recipe. But it's a good glazed donut. It tastes like a funnel cake that you would get from Geauga Lake or any amusement park. So that's it. Overall, it's a good donut. The BLKICE Chronicles. Okay, so we're down here on Sunset and Labrea, Hollywood, like I said. So, you know, we're just enjoying ourselves out here. We're gonna keep on walking on down. So we're just chilling. So what have I told you up to this point that hasn't been true? Everything that I've said so far is true. Everything that happens out here is true. Every time I put out a DVD, that's true. It's real business. So we're down here where it's palm trees. Let me tell you right now, it's kind of chilly. It's chilly right now. I need to go put on a jacket. You know, I'm used to it being a little warmer. This reminds me, and this even reminds me of Cleveland weather being chilly at night. No sultry nights where it's 90 degrees. I'm gonna show you what the night is like in Las Vegas during in July, when the film festival, where I'm being honored with a Silver Ace Award, what that feels like and how the people move there. So you stay tuned, because somebody once told me that people act like they're going on vacation and they only going to Akron. I thought that was a vacation, because when I lifted up out of Cleveland, wherever I moved, I was planning on staying. So it was going to definitely be out west. So that's real talk right there. So yeah, vacationing is Akron, Canton, Youngstown. But when you get up and actually move, and you actually had a fortitude and the ability to stay someplace else other than your home, then you're really traveling. You're not a tourist, you're a traveler. The Black Ice Chronicles. The Black Ice Chronicles Massive. This is Crazy Dee. I'm standing on Sunset in Hollywood. Right across the street from me is Amoeba Music. The Black Ice Chronicles Females and the Shifter DVDs are selling here now. Pick up your copy right here in Hollywood on Sunset Boulevard at Amoeba Music. Black Ice Chronicles Massive. Black Ice Chronicles Massive.
Prevent yourself.
Do you have a permit for selling on this block?
The Black Ice Chronicles Massive. This is Crazy Dee. All right, people. It's Nancy Good.
Crazy Dee.
On the Black Ice Chronicles. How do you, coming through the 70s, I was born in 71, so just 6 years before that, we finally got the right to vote, all of that. Coming through that period, how did you channel your energy not to go negative? And let me preface that. Me, myself, I respect Louis Farrakhan and everything that he has said. I don't see him as a hater, as more as telling the truth, right? He was on that thing back in the late 80s, early 90s, speaking of this is the generation of soldiers, the young men out on the streets. How did you channel it so that you not so much have such a harsher message? And is a person like a Louis Farrakhan important, like a Malcolm X was important, then is he still as important today to, okay, if you don't take Louis Gossette Jr., and we have the harsher way of telling you what's going on?
Well, I don't think Louis Farrakhan is harsh. I don't think it's harsh at all. He's a lover. He's a lover of people, young people especially. And he's a safety net for African American young people who don't think they have anything. So he's keeping a bunch of people together who don't think they have anything and filling them with some kind of confidence. In continuance, growth. I'm not nowhere in the level of Louis Farrakhan or Barack Obama. I'm a humble servant of God, and for what it's worth. I'm not going to put myself up there.
You're not? No. Yeah. You, through acting, you gave us an example and a role model, and that's just before there was Barack Obama. Right?
But I encourage City 28 and Morgan Freeman and all those people to do the same.
Right. All you came through that period were for us, who we can look to and say, if they can do it, we can do it.
Oh yeah, well in that way, yes. In that way, look at me because I live this way and learn for what it's worth. Some things you don't agree with, you take that for yourself. But my job is a mentor. I'm a mentor for you young people, men and women. For what I think is going to work. I'm here on the planet to try to save my life, and it seems to be to put this mess together. We have to prepare for our responsibilities in our country, personal responsibilities, not the racism. Racism will go away without growth.
With the population,
with the growth of the population shift, everybody's everywhere. And television doesn't represent more movies, so that's why I'm doing this. But all of a sudden there's new networks from Magic Johnson's and Andrew Young Jr.'s, and so our story's going to be told, and the message will follow those networks, and money will come. And all of a sudden you may get a different phone call and a different perspective. But as far as our neighborhood is concerned, we've got to stop killing one another. We have to stop ripping one another off. That's poisons from the old days. It's crabs in a barrel. If you make it, then you can't do it without me. It's poison from the old days. We have to create our neighborhoods safe. For anybody who's not black, they come in there and eat at our restaurants, invest in our children, and to buy the properties and to invest so that we are part of this country. The only reason why I know is because they're afraid of being raped, killed,
When you first did it, what was it? Was it heart palpitations?
No, it was probably more heart palpitations when I was actually doing it, because your adrenaline developed a rush. You want to get over, you want to get out of there, you don't want to get caught. And you knew that in the midst of doing this, if the cops roll up, you'd have to shoot it out with them, because you ain't going to get arrested. You don't want to get arrested because you're going to go to jail for murder. So if you kill one, you might as well kill a dozen. Get it over with. So you go home, you just forget about it. We never talked about it. We didn't discuss it amongst each other and say, oh yeah, we did it. We never talked about it. It was gone, done. Because you yourself could be your worst enemy if you talked about murder.
So we spoke yesterday, and you said depending on what party you got up, there was envy, jealousy, guilt, broken, and fear. So is there ever a situation where there could ever be true loyalty?
You know, there is in some situations, but not all situations. It used to be real true loyalty in the olden days. And then as we got more modern, these guys that would throw that loyalty out the window, especially when drugs got into play. That's why Chicago never dealt in drugs. Then there's no loyalty or honesty to each other. It ruins your life. So we kept that away from us. Now, I don't know how they did it in New York. I'm sure they did drugs in other cities. But if you notice in some cities, there were more killings because of the drugs.
That's
a reality. That's a reality. I went out of the way to put this on the map. It's on Crenshaw at 51st Street. Everybody's going to Crenshaw 51st Street to copy these outfits. But Crenshaw 51st Street is just one block. And Lemert Park is another square block. That whole neighborhood is getting there. Inglewood and Crenshaw district, they come see our wares, come see our art, taste our food, come celebrate Martin Luther King Day with us. And the more they do that, the more the people of all colors will come and share in the sort of celebration of life, which is where the country should be in the first place. So a lot of people come out. Well, now's the time.
Just don't be the guy at the funeral that got alive now. He's a good man. It's how many people you impacted. You all wonder why I'm constantly giving. That's all I want to be remembered for. When the radio is over and I come to your barbershop or I come to your restaurant and you see me walking down the street, all I want you all to remember is that, boy, that guy did everything he could while he could. That's all. Not the celebrity, all that. Nobody cares about that stuff when they see you, because once the celebrity is gone, Mr. Superstar, you're nobody. You're nobody. In fact, people look down on you now because you had your nose all in the air.
Unless they have something of substance they can say that you've done.
Danny Glover. You think about the guys who are Blair Underwood. Guys that when things go down, you see them right in front of the camera standing up for them.
Absolutely.
And that's the example that we're trying to set.
Your book, Actor and Gentleman. I read a passage where you talked about Sammy Davis Jr., how that you could relate to his what he was feeling. You're like a conduit between actors, because the ones who were acting in the 20s, 30s, and 40s came up and were still acting in the 60s and 70s, and some of them were blessed into the 80s. what can you give to the people who are not privy to actually know the icons who came through when it was real tough to where you are and you bring it forward? Now, what do people need to know in this business, on the business side?
Well, I encourage young people to do some research. Find out who Red England was, or Canada, the one of them, what he struggled. Crazy Dee.
Yeah.
Diana Sidney for the 80s, Brenda St. John. And come up to the 18th and see, and then you'll fit what we have to do in continuous. But it shows you a line of wonderful actors and actresses who made it through a place where it's supposed to be impossible. So the first thing, the young people, I tell others, there is no such thing as impossible. There's no such thing. I remember there used to be a 10-second or 100-yard dash. Now it's down to 8. There used to be a 60 home run, and now it's 7. You know what I'm saying? There's no such thing as impossible. We still have that level to go. We need to keep the stuff that keeps us from getting there, get that out of the way. Whatever it is. Stuff that we might like to do. I don't like to be angry. We like to go and then browbeat somebody. Look at something. I get that lesson from going to South Africa with an attitude of being angry in white society. I got the chance to be with Nelson Mandela.
And tell me about it, because he's 94 now.
Yeah.
And we may never get over to actually meet this man. What is inside of him that makes him not bitter?
They did all kinds of stuff to him.
Yes.
I said, how come you're not bitter and don't just all tell people to kill? Because everybody's got that suitcase ready to run. He smiled at me and he said, there's a bigger picture. And the bigger picture is now South Africa has become one of the best countries in the world. Because he can say the negative, which would be self-destructive. And he would have to, now he's 94, and everybody's together. There's no apartheid, that's different. There's the virus, black racism.
So is apartheid dead, or are there people
it's still in the system, like racism in the system in America. But it's on the way out, it's in its death throes. Because that's not the way. The world's getting too small.
Do you all know a lot of the illnesses that you have, no matter how much medicine, is not going to go away because of your emotional sickness? Dr. Jaleesa talked about that. I posted it on Facebook. Stress, bad relationships, diseases that you all can cure. Most of you all, HIV, herpes, all these diseases, you don't realize these things can be cured if you build up your immune system to fight it the way it's supposed to be fought. And the stuff that you all are eating, all this red meat, all this processed food, that stuff is shutting down your immune system. I don't know if you all saw the post I put up on sugar. You still use sugar, like white sugar? Don't do it. Use honey. Use brown sugar. Raw sugar. That processed sugar will shut your immune system down. It makes you more susceptible to diseases. I haven't used white sugar in years, haven't had cow's milk in years, and occasionally I'll have my ribeye steak, I'm not gonna lie. But it's not that regular. You all's bodies, man, that's why we look so old. We don't look, you all ever see Soul Train, how good we used to look? You look at the kids now, the age of people in Soul Train, they don't look like that. Them Soul Train dancers look good, they were moving. We don't move. We don't move, we'll take an elevator up a flight of steps. We don't walk to the store anymore. Everything is getting in the car. I'm just telling you, we're going to kill ourselves if we don't start getting some exercise and stop eating all this fried food and all this processed food.
BLKICE CHRONICLES Massive. This is Crazy Dee. I'm standing in the world famous VIP Records at 1020 East Pacific Highway in Long Beach, California. It is the place for you to pick up the BLKICE Chronicles Females DVD and the BLKICE Chronicles The Shifter DVD. Come in today, pick them up, you will be entertained. The BLKICE Chronicles. The BLKICE Chronicles Massive. This is Crazy Dee. I'm standing in front of TC's Rib Crib. Come out and check out their food because their food is A1 and that special sauce, that special barbecue sauce, is to die for. What's going on? This is Crazy Dee, and I'm standing here with
Sharon Harrell from TC's Rib Crib.
And you're watching
BLKICE Chronicle.
Dennis, question. When did you feel, or how did you get approached to come to, you were in Arkansas, we were kind of like surveilling Carlo Marcello, correct? Am I right about that?
No, I didn't do too much on Carlo Marcello. Carlo Marcello is a territory, so to speak, or his influence from New Orleans covered Arkansas. It wasn't exactly like being in Las Vegas or Chicago or anything like that. Of course, in Arkansas, gambling then, and I assume still now, very, very popular. That's mostly what we were looking at there. But in 1977, I believe, the FBI sent in 7 agents to bolster their organized crime and white-collar crime program here in Las Vegas. 3 years later, we sent in 7 more, which I was one. And for the most part, we were assigned organized crime investigations. When I arrived, the FBI was already heavily involved in the skimming investigation, the stars primarily, and also the activities of Chicago member Tony Cullotta. And that's primarily where I was. I worked mainly, I guess you'd have to call it the street crimes section, part of the investigation. That's Frank was heavily involved in. When I got here, it was the first time in my FBI career, by that time I'd been over 10 years, that we dealt with the local police officers in a joint operation. We dealt mainly with Metro, that's our man Louis here, and Sergeant Smith and Dave Ruger, all the guys. And they were heavily involved also with the FBI and the surveillances and investigation of Tony Cullotta. A lot of it was over at your pizza place, Upper Crust, and at the My Place Bar, which were over there in Maryland Parkway. Spent a lot of time over there. And I've got pictures, I can prove it. And that was primarily what work I was doing at the time. We had so many things going on in Las Vegas that the FBI had to be involved in regarding organized crime. Skimming in the stars, skimming in other hotels, plus Tony Cullotta and his crews. We were just stretched pretty thinly. And so while I did a lot with Tony's side of it, I didn't do too much with the skimming side of it, although he get involved in certain raids and that sort of thing. So that's why I met Willie and Dave and Sergeant Smith and all the guys over in Metro. Like I said, the first time we worked closely together. And just before I got here was Jerry Lisner murder on October 10th of '79. And that's when the FBI really got going into that investigation.
Here we go. And in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Watch that first step. It's a killer. Sorry. I'm Ruby Reynolds.
I don't shake hands with women I'm going to work with.
You already know you're going to work with me?
I don't know. But it's no need to give the wrong idea up front so women won't lead with their rear.
What is that supposed to mean?
It means...
No matter. I got what you mean.
You do? What do I mean?
I mean, I know what you're saying. Some men don't have control.
So, what do you do besides offend?
All I want to do is present my work. See if we can do a collaboration. My stuff, my work is tough.
What work do you have? Why would I be interested in what you do? What do you have to show?
I have a lot to show.
I got my headshot, I got my bio, and I brought you my CD.
Oh. Do you have something with you to play your CD on?
Well, no, I didn't bring a CD player, but I did bring my iPod. And if you could just take these things and put them
I never put other people's ear nubs in my ear.
No offense. That is bad hygiene. I'm not trying to question your cleanliness, but I just don't do that.
Well, I don't have anything else to play it on, but...
Miss Reynolds. You called me.
You should have a presentation already prepared.
I know, well, but...
I tell you what, when you're ready, you can reschedule. My time is precious.
Look, maybe we can do it another way.
Okay, look here. It's one thing that I noticed being in Las Vegas and spreading all out through the West Coast is they don't care about the latest and newest. They mix the oldest all the way through the newest, as you can hear in the background. They mix the oldest to the newest all in between because it's about what rocks. You know, it's like, it's not a disconnect between generations because the music is constantly heard over the radio. So that's what I can say about that. Like I said, it's like a liberation. And get out from the bonds. Look at them palm trees. Look at that palm tree. What? The BLKICE Chronicles.
What's the store name? You know it's CDMP.
Alright!
Females.
You got some work for me?
Females.
You will want to work with me.
Why is that? What sets you apart?
Because I'm pretty in the face, slim in the waist, and I'm built. And besides, you're the only one I'll trust with my new form.
This summer, Crazy Dee, the mind that brought you Google Me, and Crazy Dee's remixes move like hotcakes, brings you the Females DVD, featuring the talents and starring Susie the Crackhead, Constance Phillips, Bernice Champagne, Conwell Jacobs, Courtney Douglas.
Yes, Jesus loves me. Yeah.
My girl, sing, girl. Hey, how you doing? Sorry to cut in on anything, sorry to cut in on y'all sing. Hey, I'm Prodigy.
What? Females.
Hey, Prodigy. Hey, what's up, girl? Listen, you will never guess who I have photographing Val. Who?
Are you serious? Do you actually think I'll be caught dead with you?
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Come on out and get on the set. Checking out some of the shots. Females. Show me something else before I
don't think you realize who the fuck you talking to. Look, Crazy Dee, I want to work with you. So when can we shoot?
Females. Here I am, doing my 1-2, my regular. Finding ways to promote the store and my digital kiosk. This time, I'm doing a 4-camera shoot. But it always seems when I'm in the middle of my most creative moments, I'm always getting interrupted. I can't stand that shit. female.
What sets you apart?
Because I'm pretty in the face, slim in the waist, and I'm built. And besides, you're the only one I'll trust with my new form.